If the Apex community was a meme, it would be the one where the guy's riding a bike, puts a stick in his wheel, falls down, and then blames someone else. That's the community to me. There's a lot of issues that happen in the community, like public matches and the pacing, that is entirely the fault of the Apex community. My name is Flame078, breaking down things from the average perspective, the normal gamer. So let's discuss why it is the community's fault Apex Legends has such a shitty pub match experience. How is that for a hook, right? You triggered Apex community? I hope so. Look, that wasn't clickbait. I do genuinely 85-90% support that statement. The community is a big reason a lot of the big issues in Apex happen, but that would be an entirely separate video to break down all the reasons why we are the biggest reasons we shoot ourselves in the foot. But particularly for the topic of the video, for public matches, for the enjoyment of public battle royale matches, I have this sentiment that regardless of what was changed or what can change in Apex, the community won't gravitate towards it because I think the community is set on this weird idea of W key, and I'll elaborate that in a second. But just in general, like, that's kind of where I'm at. So not to backpedal, but just to like not be like, oh yeah, community, you're all wrong and I'm right and I'm super awesome, you should follow me. No, but like what sparked this originally, right, was the gameplay that we're watching that I'm talking over as I'm doing this voiceover. Is StormPoint like is a terrible public battle royale map to have, right? Like, it's just so annoying. Like, everyone landed, looks like on the other side, seen by Mirage Voyage, right? And this POI, which is typically contested or at least popular enough where it would warrant at least one team showing up, I got unlucky and no one showed up. And now the big issue of StormPoint, now you have to run around, look for someone in order to fight. Like, I think in this match, by the time we start fighting, it'll be like, or we finish up the fight, it'll be like 10 squads left, and that's not fun. Like, I 100% agree here with the community. That is not fun. That's why I avoid StormPoint when it's in pub rotation. It's not a fun experience, right? But my biggest thing, right, why do we have to have extremes in public matches? Why do we go ALGS sweat pros? Do we stack master pred players, ruining your lobbies, or like walking or running simulator? Why does everyone gravitate towards a similar play style? And if you decide to deviate just a tiny bit, then your entire experience is scuffed. Like, that's what I'm talking about, right? Because that is the main issue. That is a community issue, right? Apex and Respawn particularly have done things to alleviate pacing issues. They're not the best at it. I think in a competitive standpoint, I think that we're almost there, but in a pub standpoint, there are a couple of solutions that I will discuss in a second that will help dramatically. But overall, like, the thing is that the community is still not receptive to that. I think everyone's following the trends, following the latest creator, listening to them to always do that. And it's funny because it's the creators who are complaining about, oh my god, World's Edge fragment and whatnot, like they were the ones being huffy and puffy, but because of their actions, because of their content, it makes people watch it and whatnot. It's watchable, but then players start to emulate that, and we're just stuck in this vicious why am I using the rampage? Sorry, I got distracted by me shooting this vantage like this. And now I'm missing all those shots. Wow. That's terrible. Okay. So why I don't have faith, right? We have mixtape now in season 16 where if you wanted that arena shooter TDM style, now you have a way to enjoy Apex that way. So my biggest thing is, like, it comes down to that W key mentality. We're making battle royale trying to feel like TDM or these fast-paced modes when it's not really supposed to be, right? And what I mean by not supposed to be, I mean it's a RNG game, and not everyone is comfortable with 50-50ing or letting RNG dictate their game. Some people like to dictate their game by getting their loot first and then fighting. That's my biggest thing also. Like, because of this W key meta, everyone has to like go out of their comfort zone and just do that, and that's the only, for some reason, acceptable way to play the game, which again is fueled by content creators and then people flocking like little birds and listening to them over and over again. Like, that's really an issue. So we have this vicious cycle that is by the community, right? Because Respawn has created a map where you could land isolated, Broken Moon, and rotate to places quickly, right? You know, so it's not StormPoint where you have isolated big POIs, but once you're done there, you're like still stuck running to the next one. Broken Moon is not that. You can get to other POIs fairly quickly. People are still mad about that. We have Mixtape now with TDM, you know, controlling these fast-paced modes in the game now, and somehow these public matches are still experiencing like that. People are still hot dropping Fragment all the goddamn time. Like, yeah, that's why I'm these solutions right now. I want Respawn to do, and I want them to be enacted, but I don't have faith that the community will be receptive to them. The first one being to solve the whole hot dropping thing. Let's Titanfall drop into the map, right? Have different zones, have the ships drop you into a POI where you know the POI is going to have 1 to 2 teams, and then a couple teams scan around in quadrants, however you want to break it down, and drop that way. We have an outdated system now with the drop ship. I think we need to change it to allow people to land across the map and make it feel as the ring is closing that no matter where you go, you might run into someone, alleviating this need to concentrate on certain POIs and focal points. The second thing, which, you know, is the respawn system. I think the respawn system is the biggest detriment to public matches in terms of making people rage quit and playing the whole fragment thing and over again, right? Because say you die off rip or whatever, the 2 to 5 minutes, and this is just gracefully estimating that it takes for you to get back, because you know you don't get a respawn beacon right away, you're not next to a beacon right away or whatnot, people banner camping and whatnot. That cooldown for the player who died, but also the teammates who are still alive, affects the pacing too, and that's not really fun, especially when you're coming on back from a long day and whatnot. So I don't know. So, but what do you guys think of that idea? Like, if you were to change these two systems, do you think pub matches would be better? Let's have a conversation. You let me know down below. This was just kind of random rant, and I hope you guys have a great and wonderful one. My name is Flame078. Adios.